In this edition of the Parliament Report, Holness takes the reins of government on October 23. Who will be leader of government business in the House? And what of Golding's political future? Stay with us. Andrew Holness, Education Minister and leader of government business in the House of Representatives, will on Sunday, October 23, be elevated to the country's top job. Holness will be sworn in as the country's 9th Prime Minister at a special ceremony at King's House at about 4 in the afternoon. The 39-year-old Education Minister will take the baton from his predecessor, Bruce Golding, who will, on the same day, tender his resignation as head of government. Holness will become Jamaica's youngest Prime Minister since the country gained independence from Britain in 1962. The three-term Member of Parliament for West Central St. Andrew takes the top job of running the country at a time when the 27-month standby agreement with the International Monetary Fund appears to be at a stalemate. No IMF quarterly reviews for the periods December 2010, March 2011 and June 2011 have been done. When Holness chairs his first cabinet meeting at Jamaica House on Monday, October 24, the first order of business for the new Prime Minister is expected to be the IMF and how to get the quarterly reviews back on track. At the next sitting of the House of Representatives, Andrew Holness is expected to relinquish his position as leader of government business. Holness will direct government legislators from the seat traditionally reserved for Prime Ministers, positioned second from right, facing the front benches on the government side. There is growing speculation that the government whip, Andrew Gallimore, will be promoted to the position of leader of government business in the House. And outgoing Prime Minister Bruce Golding is expected to advise his West Kingston constituents shortly whether he will remain their Member of Parliament, at least for now. At the time this program was recorded on October 20, Golding did not reveal whether he would step down as Member of Parliament. It is believed that Golding will stay on until a general election is called, at which time he will signal his intention to retire from representational politics. Accountant Dennis Chung is proposing that no item should be exempt from General Consumption Tax (GCT). However, he wants about 60% of the revenue pulled in from the tax to be used to fund social programs such as the Program for Advancement Through Health and Education PATH. In a presentation to the Parliamentary Tax Committee on October 19 at the Ministry of Finance, Chung said this move would facilitate more direct distribution of benefits to the needy. He said a recent study by the Planning Institute of Jamaica showed that about 50% of benefits distributed through tax reform reached the targeted groups. At the same time, Chung said if a similar distribution was made through social programs such as PATH, at least 90% of the targeted groups would benefit. Chung says the exemption of certain items from GCT benefited the rich more than it assisted the poor. Commenting on Chung's recommendation, committee member Dr. Omar Davies says PATH does not cover a significant number of people who remain at the bottom of the economic ladder. He says the removal of GCT exemption on all items will have the effect of increased taxation. According to Davies, this would have a greater impact on the lower middle class and the working poor. Contractor General Greg Christie has pointed to a death threat as one of the challenges faced by the Office of the Contractor General last year. In his annual report, which was tabled in Parliament on October 18, Christie said these challenges included but were not limited to at least one overt threat that was made against the life of a senior member of staff. The head of the contract oversight body also took a jab at the ruling Jamaica Labour Party government. He noted that there were misguided and very worrying challenges emanating from the administration and others which sought to impose unwarranted jurisdictional boundaries upon the OCG's exercise of his lawful mandates. Christie suggested in his annual report that he was not surprised at the recurring decimal of the innumerable referrals and recommendations sent to state authorities, both legislative and executive arms of the state, which were for the most part ignored. And that's how we close this edition of the Parliament Report. Log on next week for another bulletin. I'm Edmund Campbell saying, walk good.